Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived. It is game 7. Knicks, Pacers on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Decided to come on here and do a little pregame for you guys because this one felt needed. Obviously, this game is very important. It's literally win or go home. And we got some great OG Anunoby news. We got some great Josh Hart news. So this is what we play for. Madison Square Garden, game 7. Here we stand on the cusp of greatness. Leave it all out on the court. We battled through the season, faced every challenge head on, and here we are, one game away from advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals. All we have to do is get one. All we have to do is get one. Danielle, what's going on? I see you in the chat. Danielle. That's it. Look, we got some great news today. Woj literally just tweeted 20 minutes before I hopped on here that OG Anunoby and Josh Hart are on looking like they're going to play. Here's a tweet. OG Anunoby and Josh Hart are on course to play game 7, with the final determination looming closer to 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC. Both will participate in walkthrough at MSG. Boy, oh boy, is this great news. Now, we don't know how effective they're going to be, especially Josh Hart, but this news right here, this is exactly why we got dogs on the team. Hart injured. OG Anunoby dealing with a hamstring injury. Probably not 100%. He's still going to lay it all out there on the court because it's game 7. You know, he wants to be out there for his teammates. And boy, oh boy, I mean, if we can get like 70 to 80% of OG Anunoby, sign me up for that, man. It's all hands on deck today. I'm feeling the Knicks victory. I'm feeling good because I know this team will respond. I know this team will, go out there and just play well in front of their home crowd, play well in Madison Square Garden. And now we have positivity, the positive news on the OG Anunoby front and the Josh Hart front. Let's go. How we feeling? How is everyone feeling this Sunday afternoon? Are we feeling good? Are we feeling confident? Are we feeling nervous? I want to know the vibes of Knicks Nation. I want to know how everyone's feeling. Let me put a poll in the chat so I can, get a grasp of how everyone's feeling. All right. How are we feeling? I'm confident. I'm not going to lie to you. I was nervous when I woke up, but now that I got this OG Anunoby news and this Josh Hart news, let me just nervous, confident, nervous or confident. How we feeling? There we go. Let me start this poll. Why is this not? Okay. Start poll. All right. Poll is up. How are we feeling, Knicks Nation? How are we feeling? I'm worried about Josh Hart. He's going to have to play through immense pain. June says, let's go Knicks. What's going on, June? The Josh Hart injury, yeah, that's a but he's going to be running on adrenaline all game long. This is literally what the guys have fought for this whole season, the entire playoffs, to get the chance to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2000, to get the chance to close out a series on your home court, to do it in front of your home crowd. Game 7. These guys are going to be motivated. These guys are going to be. Don't be surprised if today's going to be a low-scoring game. Everything's going to be tight, as expected. But look, I'm expecting JB to show up. I'm expecting the guys to show up. And I'm expecting more of the same as what we've seen in Madison Square Garden. And that's pretty much a dominant Knicks team on their home arena, right? So I'm excited. But we got the news. Here it is. Like 15 minutes ago, Anunoby and Josh Hart are on course to play Game 7 versus Indiana with the final determination looming closer to 3:30. It's crazy because Anunoby, a couple of days ago, Woj said he wasn't going to play Game 7. And something in the player, something in Anunoby's mind was like, nah, I have to be out there for my teammates. I'm going to leave it all out on the court. No matter what happens. I worry about that in the offseason. But right now, Game 7 at MSG, I'm not even going to be thinking about anything. I'm just going to go out there and play. You got to respect Anunoby for that, man. And he was dominating the Indiana Pacers. Game 2 was his best game as a Knick, dominating the Pacers. The Pacers don't have an answer for Anunoby. They didn't. Now, we don't know the full package, like how he's going to be out there. Is he going to be running 70 to 80%? Is he going to be limited to 20, 25 minutes? I'm pretty sure there's going to be limitations, but as long as we got that body out there, that's huge. That's huge. Johnson says, great news, but I don't want Hart to be compromised significantly. What's going on, Johnson? Appreciate you in the chat. Yeah, I mean, look, it's win or go home. That's it. It's literally win or go home. And I feel like the Knicks are treating this like this game means everything to them. This game means everything to the city. And I think they really want to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Then once we advance, whatever happens, right? But I feel like they're literally laying out their body on the court. They're like, all right, I'm going to give it my all. And that's it. I mean, yeah, you just have to, get hyped for that and just, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be one of those games where a lot of physicality, a lot of bodies on the floor, blood, sweat, tears, literally your typical Game 7s. I mean, you leave it all out on the court. West End, let's go Knicks. We got this. Rasta, what's going on in the chat? OG, let's go. Ortiz, my anxiety is getting the best of me. I think I'm having a panic attack. I can't wait anymore. Ortiz, calm down. Calm down. We don't want you to have a panic attack. But, yeah, I mean, woke up like this could be it. But I feel like this is not it. Especially with that. We got the Anunoby news late last night that he's going to try to give it a go. And I'm assuming he was getting nonstop treatment, working on that hamstring, and now it's looking like he's ready to go at 3:30. That's it. Feeling confident yet nervous at the same time. This is what it's all about. This is what it is all about, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen the highs, the lows. We've battled through everything this season. Here we are, one game away from advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Indiana Pacers are tough. They're relentless. But so are we. I'm not going to allow them to come into Madison Square Garden and take this from us. Can't allow them to do that. Can't. And I know last time Knicks Pacers had a Game 7, what was that, 1995? I don't even want to think about that. This is where we rewrite history. This is it. One more game. This is for the city that never sleeps, for the pride of Madison Square Garden, for every fan who's believed. Today we fight. That's it. We fight. Rasa says 35K a seat at MSG. They better win. I think that's courtside, yeah. Courtside West End. MSG is going to be lit today on a Sunday. Yeah, this is it. I mean, Game 7. It's going to be an electric atmosphere. You know the MSG faithful is going to show up. You know their crowd is going to be involved. And the Knicks feed off of that. You know, that's why we only lost one game in Madison Square Garden this postseason run. So we feed off of the crowd. And Brunson has talked about that in his post games, and everyone has talked about that. Mike says, I'm more mad we won't get an extra day off. Pacers have shown they are scared of MSG. Look, last time they were in here, they looked shook. And that was without OG Anunoby. Right? Now we're getting a 50%. I want to say he's like 50 to 70%. But he can, look, he's going to be out there laying it all on the line. That's all you can ask for. And adrenaline is what's going to keep these guys going, and it's ultimately what's going to win us this game. Adrenaline from from Anunoby and Josh Hart, because we don't know how significant those injuries are, but at the end of the day, it's Game 7. You know, they're going to play. It's looking like they're going to play. So, for real, CEO says we can't be mad if we lose. I don't want to hear that right now. CEO, I understand that sentiment. We want to be proud of our team, but we still got work to do. It is Game 7. We still got one more win to go. We'll get down that path when that path is a reality. But right now, that's not the reality. The reality is we're still one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals. And the reality is it's looking like OG Anunoby is going to play and Josh Hart. So let's do it. Jay says, got to realize we shouldn't even be here with injuries, so just enjoy the ride. Look, like I said, to responding to CEO's comment, I'm enjoying the ride, but we focus on today. House money. Let's go. We in the building tonight. It's Knicks Nation. We are the strongest fan base energy in the world. Boy, oh boy, I would love to be in that building today. Game 7. It's going to be, electric. The nerves are, look, I put the poll in the chat. Are you guys nervous or confident? 71% of you say confident, 24 votes. Confident. The confidence is that's all you can do. This team has been through a lot of adversity, been through a ton of injuries. And here we are, one game away. On your home court, this is why we fight for home court advantage. This is why we got the 2 seed, to have that extra game in your home arena. And Pacers, they're probably saying the same thing to themselves. Let's leave it all on the line, yada, yada, yada. But it's all about what we do. And I feel like at the end of the day, we will pull out. We will pull it through. Let's go. I'm feeling the confidence. I really am. I was nervous to start this day. I'm not going to lie to you. But then that Woj tweet hit about OG Anunoby, looking like he's going to give it a go. And here we are. This is Precious and Burks' game to ball out. This is everyone's game to leave it on the line and give us your A+ game. Burks, Precious, Hart, Anunoby, Brunson. Expect nothing but greatness from Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hartenstein, everybody. It's all hands on deck, because I'm sure they're telling themselves in that locker room, if we don't win, we go home. And do you want to go home? Do you want to go on vacation yet? No, we still got work to do. And I feel like this Knicks team is telling themselves, like, get us to the Eastern Conference Finals. The city needs that. The city hasn't been to the Eastern Conference. The Knicks haven't been to the Eastern Conference Finals since 2000. And Jalen Brunson's father, Rick Brunson, was on that team. So what better way than 24 years later to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals with Jalen Brunson on the team? It feels like today means a lot to them. To the team, to the organization. They want to win today, and I'm sure they will win. We're going to win, ladies and gentlemen. Like Benny says, we are going to win. TA, what's going on? Well, we are here. Game 7 in Madison Square Garden. I said it earlier. Here it is. Lay it all on the line. It's the ultimate test of our heart, our grit, our desire. We'll just put out a tweet. You just put out a story. So there's nothing more beautiful than what we're about to witness. Like, I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling good. I'm trying to portray the positive vibes because today is a day we remind the world who the New York Knicks are. That's it. Today is that day you remind the world who we are. One more game. One more game. Let's go. Let's go. Chiclet. If OG plays, we got this. Yeah, it's looking like OG is going to go through shoot around. He was getting treatment 3 times a day. Probably for this game. Laying it all on the line. I mean, that's all you can ask for. Give us your best. Just be out there for your teammates, and it's looking like he is definitely going to do that. And I'm thrilled. I'm excited. The energy just having him on the court, the big body to guard Siakam. Siakam has kind of been cooking lately. So just to put him on Siakam, like, we don't know what percentage he's going to be at, OG Anunoby, but, just having that big body on the court, because the size has been, a difference maker for the especially in Indiana. I mean, we haven't played our game, our A game in Indiana, but when we're in Madison Square Garden, it seems like the Knicks pick it up a notch, and OG Anunoby is going to be a massive addition. We saw what he did in game 2. He was dominating them. So more of the same today. More of the same today. CEO, hustle, grit, and heart is how we're still here. We shouldn't be here, but we are. Today's a day that we remind the world who the New York Knicks are. Every shot, every pass, every defensive stand. That's it. Lay it all on the line. The highs, the lows. Throw everything out the window. Today is a new day, and today is where we advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. We worry about tomorrow when tomorrow hits, but we just have to focus on Game 7 in Madison Square Garden. Let's go. Joey says, let's go New York. Joey, what's going on, man? New York Knicks 2024 NBA champions. Let's go New York. One more game, and y'all can do it. Let's go. Thank God OG and Hart are playing today. Yeah, Josh Hart injury didn't look. I think it's already been called a abdominal strain. Those injuries are very tricky, but I'm sure he's gonna lay it out on the line. He's probably gonna be limited today, but look, he's willing to gut it out. And like Jalen Brunson said after Game 6, it's Game 7. He's going to play, and it's looking like he is going to play, and he's gonna gut it out. And OG and Anunoby too. Because they know, like, they're doing it for us. They're doing it for the fans. They're doing it for the city. They want to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And when we get there, we'll talk about it. But I feel like they want that for the city, especially a closeout game. Remember, we couldn't do it in Game 5 versus Philly. We couldn't get that closeout game right there in Madison Square Garden. And they've been talking about that. Hart has been talking about that. Brunson has been talking about that. They want to close it out in Madison Square Garden. It just hasn't happened that way. So just imagine what 7-5 is going to be like today if they do. But look, there's still a game to play. OG Anunoby is looking like he's going to be out there. So let's go. Let's go. Tip the ball up. Tip the ball up. I'm ready. Knicks cave. Knicks got this game by 10. I see them coming out hot and maintaining a double-digit lead all game. Preach it. Preach it into existence. Preach it into existence. Venom says, I've got a feeling OG Anunoby feels better than we think. I hope so. I mean, if he's going to be out there, if he's playing, he's not going to give any excuse. But music to my ears, because having OG Anunoby out there offensively was dominating the Pacers, just changes our whole flow of the game, our offense, our defense, and it's looking like he's going to be out there. It's looking like he's going to be out there. Put Isaiah Hartenstein on Siakam. They did that in Game 6. They did that quite a bit in Game 6 too. But I think with OG Anunoby out there, they're not going to tinker with that. They're going to put Anunoby out there. But they could put Hartenstein out there too if they don't want Anunoby to kind of, exert himself too much. We don't know the severity of that hamstring injury, so maybe they don't put Anunoby on Siakam. But who knows, right? Who knows? It's literally all hands on deck. So we just have to wait and see. It all depends on how Anunoby is feeling. Rasta says, injured or not, we should be here. We number 2. Let's give it our all. Let's go, Knicks. 50 votes in the chat. Nervous at 32%. Confident is at 68%. I woke up feeling nervous, but as the day progressed, as the Anunoby news came out, the Josh Hart news came out, I was like, okay, these guys are not going to lose this game. These guys are going to give it their all. It's Game 7. You fight. You scrap. Do whatever you got to do to win this game. We worry about tomorrow when tomorrow hits, but it's all hands on deck. It's all hands on deck today. And it's looking like they're going to give it a go. And we still have the best player on the court. His name is Jalen Brunson. I'm sure he's not going to allow this Knicks team to lose today. I'm sure he's going to have a bounce-back performance from Game 6 because he said it himself in Game 6. He needs to be better. Those are his words. And I feel like in Madison Square Garden, remember the last time we were at home, Game 5, balled out. They couldn't guard him. They couldn't stop him. And more of the same today. More of the same today. Mike says we got to come out swinging. If we go up 20-5 type vibe, we'll be able to ride. Yeah, I mean, look, coming out swinging or not, the thing about Game 7s is that they play tight. Like, everyone knows that that's it. Like, so whoever has a lead, like whoever has a big lead, the team, like I'm comfortable with the Knicks being down by double digits because throughout the whole playoffs, they've been down by double digits, I think, in 9 or 10 games, and they've come back for a majority of that. But yeah, it's Game 7. I mean, people are going to play tight. You're going to see probably a lot of turnovers today from both sides. And it's all about being focused. The more focused team is going to win today. The team that does the little things, the team that rebounds the ball, out-rebounds their opponent, free throws, got to hit your free throws, inbounding the basketball, little things like that we need to clean up. I do think we'll be on top at the end of the day, but got to get it done. Got to get it done. Ramon, I think the Knicks win. You believe Edwin says you believe Brunson will score 40 today? I think his over-under is 35.5. I do think Brunson is going to I do think he's going to score over 40. I think it's going to be one of those big games for Jalen Brunson. Game 7, somebody was telling me this, was that you'll remember this Game 7 for the rest of your life. You'll remember it. Because people that remember that Game 7 in Philadelphia, the Ewing finger roll, they remember that moment. Game 7, you're going to remember for the rest of your life. So no matter what happens today, and I'm hoping for a winning game, like a winning, obviously I'm hoping for us to win. We're going to remember today for the rest of our lives. And we got the best player on the court, but we still have to go out there and perform. Like Brunson said, yeah, the crowd is going to, take our game up a notch, but at the end of the day, we still have to go out there and perform. And I think they will. Daniel, what's going on? Happy Sunday. Yeah, man, Brunson's going to go off. JB, new playoff career high, 45 plus. Dante, 30. Deuce, 20. OG, 5 steals. Yeah, I haven't even brought up Deuce McBride yet, but Deuce McBride in Game 6, incredible performance. I thought the Knicks should have went back to him more and more. But now with OG Anunoby looking like he's going to come back, and those that are just joining, 85 people in here, appreciate every single one of you. Smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. Woj tweeted this like an hour ago. Just in case anyone missed it, OG Anunoby and Josh Hart are on course to play Game 7 versus Indiana, with the final determination looming closer to 3:30. It's looking like they're going to participate in walkthrough. I think the walkthrough is going to be in Madison Square Garden, and it's looking like they're going to give it a go. And that is massive for the New York Knicks. Massive. Now, we don't know, what percentage they're going to be at. I'm trying to see any updates, if we have more updates, but no. I think it's a little bit too early for Tom Thibodeau to speak. I think he speaks at like 1:30 or like 30 minutes or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's literally, I've said it, opening up this little preview. I had to hop on here before Game 7 because it's Game 7. Like, I had to come on here and portray some positivity and lay it out on the court, do it for the city, blood, sweat, and tears. This is why we got home court advantage. This is what we play for. Times like this, this game will be remembered for a long time, and we're going to be on the winning end. Haven't been to the Eastern Conference Finals since 2000 season. So, look, here we are. One game away. One game away. It's the ultimate test. It is the ultimate test of our heart, our grit, and our desire. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. But there is nothing more beautiful than what we're about to witness on that court. It's going to be a dub. It's going to be a dub. Cam, what's going on? Appreciate you in here, Cam. Real question is, will Halliburton show up? He'll be looking like the funny thing is, Tyrese Halliburton is only tough in his home arena. He was calling Deuce McBride small in Game 6. He said Dante couldn't guard him in Game 4. We're not seeing any of that from Tyrese Halliburton in Madison Square Garden. Don't forget, Pacers are also a young team, and it seems like every time they've come to Madison Square Garden, they the moment is kind of bigger for them. I mean, like, they play tight. And, you can point to Game 1, even Game 5, where they came out early with the lead. And then we just responded back, and then after we responded, they weren't the same team. They were shook. So, yeah, just get the crowd involved early. Make the Pacers doubt themselves. Make them feel like, damn, this is it. You want to take their soul from them at halftime. Preferably. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you want to make them doubt going into halftime. Like, do we have enough to win this game? That's what you want them to feel. And no matter how this game goes, if we go down by 10 and come back, if we go up by 20 and win, as long as we get the win, it doesn't matter. But you want to make the Pacers kind of tighten up, right? Make mistakes, turn the ball over a lot. Make Tyrese Halliburton think, like, should I shoot it? Should I pass? Because he's kind of been undecisive throughout the majority of this series. But, he's still a good player. Still got to respect him. And like Timothy says in the chat, after party downtown is going to be crazy. And I have a feeling, if the Knicks win today, I have a feeling we're going to see some Knicks outside of MSG and 7 Fab partying. Because Josh Hart said he wants to go out there, but, need to rest up that abdominal injury. So let's do it. Mike says only Miles Turner shows up in MSG. He'd be hitting them threes early. Yeah, you just got to lock in, man. I mean, everyone knows their role. Everyone knows their assignment. Miles Turner, we have to watch behind the three-point line. And, obviously Halliburton's going to get to his spots. They're going to run. They're going to run a lot of pick and rolls. They're going to run a lot of offensive sets. We're going to try to keep the Knicks off balance. But with Anunoby out there, that big body, that wingspan, you know, it's going to make things difficult for them. And that's why him just being out there is going to make their offense, the Indiana Pacers offense, you know, slow it down a little bit. Let's go. I'm excited. But you know, I am a little bit nervous, but I'm excited. I'm confident too. Sam says these Zoos got the heart of a champion. Hopefully OG and Hart can be effective coming off these injuries. Win, lose, or draw. Every Knicks fan can be proud of this squad. That's it. Win, lose, or draw. Every Knicks fan is going to be proud of this squad. This is, look, incredible season. And it's continuing. I mean, it hasn't ended yet. But we'll get to that point when we get there. But I feel like, you know, with Anunoby coming back and Josh Hart coming back today, I feel like they're going to lay it out on the line. They're going to give it their all. And I feel like they're confident. I feel like I truly do feel like we're going to win today. And it's going to be a special day in Madison Square Garden and outside of Madison Square Garden, because just advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals is just would be a massive accomplishment to this organization, a massive accomplishment to this fan base. I mean, this season has already been amazing, but just advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2000, it's truly remarkable considering what we've been through, injuries. But we still got work to do. We still got a game to play, and they will win. They will win. The only win the Pacers should take out of New York today is by plane. Let's go, Knicks. I wonder how many illegal screens are going to be called. That joint be big momentum swings. One thing I've learned about these playoffs, especially, like, I don't know if you guys were watching the Dallas Mavericks and OKC game yesterday, was that it ended on actually a foul call on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but officials, they're letting a lot go. They're letting a lot go, and it seems like Jalen Brunson gets more calls at home than he was in Indiana. He wasn't getting any calls in Indiana. He's still not really. They're letting a lot go. And it's the playoffs. You know, they're not calling hand checks. They're not calling ticky-tack fouls, illegal screens, any of that. They're letting it go. If it's not, like, obvious, they're not calling it. So, but when you do get to the line, you have to hit your free throws. When you do make it to the free throw line, you have to hit your free throws. Because one thing about this Knicks team, the one thing that kind of has been a bugaboo on this team is free throw shooting. And you want to hit your free throws because every point matters. And especially today in Game 7, when you get to the line, hit your free throws, you know. And that's all we can hope for. Victor says, I'm a bit nervous, but I'm confident we will win 113-99. Oh, we got a prediction score in here, 113-99. I am too. And look, Pacers 0-3 in Madison Square Garden, right? 3-0 in their home arena. They know that. They know that coming into today. They know what they have to do. I mean, the Knicks know what they have to do. But I ultimately think the fans will, you know, the atmosphere, the environment, it's going to be crazy. And I think it's going to be too much for Indiana. But, you know, that's why, you know, we have MSG. That's why you fight for the 2 seed, to get that home court advantage. Last game in Madison Square Garden, you know. Take care of home court, you win the series. Doesn't matter what happened in Indiana. Doesn't matter. You win 4 games in Madison Square Garden, you win the series. And the Knicks are 3-0 in Madison Square Garden this series. So, and they were undefeated against the Philadelphia 76ers, but they kind of got that game where Maxey went off and, you know, hit a logo 3, and they kind of got unraveled there. They kind of got their foot off the gas pedal, the New York Knicks. They kind of like thought it was in the bag. But they learned from it and came back in Game 6 down in Philly and won. The resilience of this Knicks group, the hard work, the determination, it all comes down to this. You just leave it out on the court. You leave it out. It takes everything to win it. It's going to take everything to win this game. And I'm excited. I honestly am. And, you know, I'm confident because I feel like what we've seen from this Knicks team this whole year, even in these playoffs, is the resiliency. they've bounced back. Every chance they've got smacked in the mouth, they bounced back. Right? So I'm excited. I'm excited, man. Tony says, just win. Rasta says, facts. Marvin, what's going on? Salute Knicks family. That's why you win 50 games in a season, to have home court advantage and win game 7. Let's go. Let's go. That's it. I mean, what's the poll up to? Got the poll in the chat, 91 votes. How are we feeling? Nervous is at 36%. Confident is at 64%. Who do you guys think is going to have a big game today for the New York Knicks? You guys can say it in the chat. My X factor for today, I think we're going to see an all-time performance from Jalen Brunson. That's what I think. I think Jalen Brunson is going to go out there and just give it his all, score at will, be unguardable, hit his threes, and I feel like we're going to see a great performance from our leader in Jalen Brunson. If anything, what Jalen Brunson has taught us is that every time that, you know, he goes up on that podium and says, I need to be better, he is better the next game. And he said that after dropping like 30 points. So I feel like today is going to be one of those Brunson games. But let me know in the comments, who do you guys think today is going to have a big game for the Knicks? You think it's Anunoby coming off that hamstring injury? You think it's Deuce, Hartenstein with the offensive rebounds, Precious? It could be anybody. But all in all, I think it's going to be a team effort. I think it's going to be a team win. But I think we're going to be led by JB. Rasta says Knicks 103, Pacers 95. You guys don't even have the Pacers scoring 90 points, right? That's music. I love that. You know, I love that. I'm trying to look at the scores. I think the Pacers at MSG, their scoring has been down. I think they've had a few 100-point, 90-plus point games in MSG. Yeah. Yeah, game. Well, no, 130 to 121. That was a lot. That was and then 111 to 106. Pacers 121 to 89. Yeah, Pacers and MSG scored 91 points. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. I do, because things are gonna be tight. People are gonna be tight. A lot of turnovers, but the more focused team is going to win today. Bobby says, big body Brunson 50 piece. Let's go. Speaking into existence, not going to lie, I think Dante is going to have 6 threes. Big Dante game like he had in game 3 where he dropped 30-plus points. We need that. Dante, 36 points. Fabian says, Deuce. You're going to hear that a lot today. Every time Deuce McBride is going to touch that ball, you're going to hear Deuce. But, yeah, Deuce, I think, is going to have a big game. Mike says, what's good? This is the first time ever I want to see a boring game. Below this game in the first quarter, I'm looking for 50, 30, 20, 15, 10. Watch. Let's get this done. You know, and what's going on, Mike? Boring game, exciting game. All that matters is if we get the win, you know? I don't care how it looks. I just care about, obviously, advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's it, you know? Boring, exciting, lobs, you know? But I think it's going to be exciting on the Knicks side, not on the Pacers side. AJ says you got to punch them right in the mouth early. They set the tone, and Pacers will rattle. They ain't built like – that's the thing. In Game 5, right? What did the Knicks do? They responded to the Pacers because Pacers got up in Game 5. Knicks came back and responded. After that, when the Knicks went on, I think they went on like a 17 or 18-0 run in Game 5. Pacers were rattled. They were shook. That's when their offense kind of gets out of sync, is when they're kind of like figuring out, okay, we're down 20 to 25 points. What do we need to do? That's when you kind of see the, you know, their age kind of speak for them, you know? Inexperience, I know Siakam has been there, done that, but yeah, you gotta punch them in the mouth first and be physical with them right off the bat. Let them know, like, nah, that's not gonna fly today. That's not gonna fly today. So, Mike says they had their season low against us. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that is true. Ramon says 107. Knicks 107. Pacers 106. Ramon, that is close. Oh, man. Oof. I don't think my heart can take that score. Like, if it's 106, 106 with a minute left, I don't know what. Like, it's going to be the most nervous I've felt ever, probably. That's why I want the Knicks to win this going away. Just win this big. But, hey, as long as we get that win, right? Ramon says Hart MVP. We need 30-plus offensive rebounds. Didn't they have like 87 when they lost by 30? Yeah, the thing is, the Pacers, in Madison Square Garden, their offense doesn't look like how it looks in Indiana. And that's why, they've kind of looked great in Indiana. But in MSG, they've kind of looked like a different team. So that's why I feel confident today. But still got to respect them. Still a good team over there. And it's 3-3, 1 game left. 1 game left. Buzzer beater, you thought you weren't going to see me? What's going on, buzzer beater? Yeah, I thought I wasn't going to see you. What's going on, man? Safu says, let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Yeah, if you're just joining, 84 people in here. It's looking like OG Anunoby's going to give it a go. He's going to go through shoot around, trying to get more updates regarding the Anunoby front, but it's looking like he's going to give it a go. So you're going to see a starting 5 of Anunoby, Hart, Brunson, Isaiah Hartenstein, Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, Hartenstein, and Anunoby. That's good. That's going to be a starting 5, but it hasn't come out yet. Still think it's a little bit too early for that. I think Tom Thibodeau is going to speak here at 1:30, but still think it's a little bit too early for that. Woj said almost any movements for Hart's stir pain, including coughing and breathing. There is no escaping. Let me just share my screen so you guys can see this. Look, Josh Hart's in pain. He's in pain, but he's going to gut it out. Let me share my screen so you guys can see this. Give me a second. Bear with me for 1 second. Share screen. Okay. Almost any movements for Hart stir pain, including coughing and breathing. There is no escaping the pain, which is something that can be avoided with other parts of the body. Josh Hart's in pain, but he's going to dog it out. I think his minutes will be limited because any movement, like coughing and just any movement left to right, it's a strain, and he's going to be in pain. So he's not going to be 100%, but if Josh Hart has a good game despite his injury, I mean, he's a freaking warrior, man. He's a dog. Heart of the city right there, Josh Hart. Heart of the city. 2 dogs right here. I'll be lying to you if I thought Anunoby was going to come back this series. But after that game 6, I think he said to himself, like, look, game 7 in Madison Square Garden, I'm feeling 80% or 70%, whatever, however he's feeling. I got to get out there for the guys. He wants to be out there for his teammates. He wants to win this game because he knows how big this game is, obviously, newsflash. And that's all that you got to respect that, man. You got to respect that. He could just be like, look, I've already earned all my money. I know the Knicks are going to give me a bag. Knicks are going to pay him this summer. He can easily say, no, I'm good. I'm not going to be out there. I don't want to be out there. But he's like, no. I'm going to be out there for my teammates. That speaks of high character from OG Anunoby. Doesn't care about all the financials and whatever. If I re-injure, I re-injure. I got all off season to rehab this thing. But got to respect Anunoby for that, man. Got to, because I didn't think he would be out there at all. At all. OG is going to take, OG, John says, what's up? What's going on, John? John Smith, OG is going to change the momentum and cancel out Siakam, which will give us 9 to 10 point cushion. But Deuce said he looked okay after the game. Yeah, I mean, look, Pascal Siakam has kind of been finding his rhythm, has been efficient, and that's pretty much due to, like, Siakam's what, like 6'10", 6'9", 6'10", and Josh Hart's been on him. That's why the Knicks threw Hartenstein on him a few times. But, yeah, shut off Siakam's water a little bit, and just having that 6'8", 6'9" body out there, Anunoby, it's huge. Jabroni, what's going on, man? I'm predicting the lights will be too bright for Indy. If OG and Hart each give us 15 to 20 minutes, I think there'll be enough. That'll be enough. We'll just need big minutes from Dante, Deuce, and JB. Also, having Anunoby back gives, puts Deuce back on that bench, lengthens our rotation. And even if Anunoby's back, I still do think we're going to see a lot of Alec Burks today, because I don't think Tom Thibodeau's going to play Anunoby. I'll be shocked if Anunoby plays 30 to 35 minutes. I could be wrong. But I still think we're going to see a lot from Alec Burks. Burks has kind of shown us here that, when ready, he has responded. So it's next man up, next man mentality. So Dante will be, I think, look, today I think we're going to be in for a nice game from JB. And I think Dante, the thing that sucked about game 6 was Dante got it going, got his shot going, and then this kind of went away from him and Deuce. So I think they're going to, try to get the ball to Dante as much as possible. If he's open, obviously he's going to shoot it. And just having Dante out there nail down his threes opens up a whole different element on our offense. So Mike Woods, Brunson, 50 points. Dante, 30. Burks, McBride, 20. Oh, you're talking about minutes. You talking about minutes? No, points, excuse me. McBride, 20 or 15. OG, 10. Hartenstein, 10. Everyone contributes. However, I don't expect much from OG, but when we slow the game down, hit some threes, and lock up Siakam, but he might give us, that's the thing. He's going to be out there, but we don't know, how much of OG Anunoby we're going to see out there. But it doesn't matter. He's on the court, He's out there fighting for his teammates. He's out there fighting for the city. Game 7. Let's get it started. I'm excited. The polls in the chat. Are you excited? Are you confident? Or are you nervous? I'm excited. I feel like at 6:30, whenever the game ends, we will be advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals. It'll be absolute madness outside of MSG, but we still got work to do. We still got a game to play, and the guys are going to be ready. The guys are going to be ready. They're going to respond. They want a closeout game in Madison Square Garden. Just imagine that. It's going to be crazy, but, still got work to do. Lay it out on the court. Heart, determination, fire, passion, physicality, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. That's it. Mike says Burks and Precious are going to be key. Now that we got OG back, I'm confident as heck now. They don't want that smoke from OG Anunoby. 20 minutes is all we need from OG, to be honest. Whatever, 15, 20, 22. As long as the player is out there, and when he's out there, he's effective. I'm sure they're going to be staggering his minutes a lot. I'm sure he's going to be starting. I'm sure he's going to be taken out quickly. They're probably going to play him in spurts. They're probably going to play OG Anunoby in 4-minute spurts, probably. 4 minutes here, and then sub him out. 3 or 4 minutes, sub him out. Depending how he's feeling. He could look back to Thibs and be like, nah, I'm good. Keep me in. I'm good. Keep me in. Depends on how the body is going to respond for the player, but Josh Hart too. That's why I think it's going to be all hands on deck. Josh Hart, I think, is, that injury is more significant than Anunoby's, even though hamstring injuries are tricky. But they're both going to be subbed in and out in spurts, which is why I think we need Burks, we need Deuce. The guys off the bench, I think, are going to play a huge part in today's game. And all hands on deck. Brunson saw Luka advance to the Western Conference Finals. That will motivate him to have his best game as a Knick. I just think Brunson knows what's on the line today. He said it multiple times. He said that he wants to have a closeout game in Madison Square Garden. He says he wants MSG to go crazy. He wants 7-5 to celebrate. And he's focused. I just think he's locked in. So whether he saw Luka advance, I don't think any of that matters to him. I just feel like he's going to take it one game at a time. And today is that game where you lay it out on the line. That's it. I mean, no excuses. You just win the game. And from what we've seen, today is your prototypical, like, Jalen Brunson is so humble, right? He's always looking to improve. He's always like, I got to do better. I got to play better. And today is going to be a reason why he's going to remind the world to respect this man. Shut everyone up. The Knicks have already shut everyone up, but please shut everyone up today. End all the nonsense, BS talk that the media has been saying about the Knicks. Today's the day where the Knicks go out there and win. Buzzy Rita says, Anthony, get off your lazy ass and go to MSG and tell Thibs he better win this one. I wish, man. I wish. But to get in, I think it was like $600 or something like that. I wish I was going to today's game. I do. But, you know, I'll be on here after the post game celebrating like crazy. And I'm speaking it. You got to manifest things, you know. After game 6, I tweeted the OG Anunoby, the wheelchair vid to get off. Let me just screen share for you guys. And I was like, game 7. That's it. You got to get it done. And this was during the Anunoby, like, this was when Woj was saying Anunoby was ruled out for game 7. I was like, game 7, that's it. Get it done. No matter what it takes, OG Anunoby. And the player, respect him. He's looking like he's going to be out there for his teammates. And we just got to get it done. But I thought this was funny. And now he's going to be on that court. Compromise or not, doesn't matter. You know, doesn't matter. I want to see OG in the fourth. Josh Hart on their podcast casually said to Brunson after seeing the NYC crowd after first round win, we got to clinch one at the Garden. Even after, even before game 6, Josh Hart was saying like eventually they want to clinch one in Madison Square Garden. But yeah, that's on their mind. You know, that's on their mind. Tony says the Knicks easily win this game. Good ball movement, take less 3-pointers and rebound. Don't live by the 3, attack the basket. Yeah, so look, what made the Knicks so dominant in game 5 was Brunson was attacking the basket. He was getting to his spots. He was pretty much posting up the Indiana Pacers guards. When McConnell was on him, he was posting him up. He was getting to his spots. He was using his big body against the Pacers. So more of that, more of the same. Anunoby parked in the corner with DiVincenzo opens up our offense. I think we're going to have a good offensive game. Isaiah Hartenstein, obviously we know what he can do in terms of offensive rebounds. I think he's going to have a good game, and it's all hands on deck, man. It is. Ultimately, I think the Pacers will be rattled a little bit, but I think they're going to be ready. I think the Pacers know that, you know, they want to win one game in Madison Square Garden. And the Knicks have to kind of shut off the water really quick, you know, make them think about booking flights to go on vacation at halftime. Make them think about that. You want them to make them think that they have no hope. That's what you want. That's what you want. We would be pouring honey on the Knicks after the win. Honey? Pouring honey, John. Now, I might... If guys, make sure you're in here for the post game, because if the Knicks win, like, I've been going crazy. Like, after the Sixers series win, I was going crazy. I'm gonna go nuts. But look, 2 hours until game time. I appreciate every single one of you that joined me here today. This was my little pregame. Get it done. Game 7 in Madison Square Garden on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. What more than advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics? And we'll talk about that matchup when that happens. But it's game 7. You get it done. You lay it out all on the court. Blood, sweat, tears. This is it. what are you going to do? How are you going to respond in front of your home crowd? They will respond. We will win, and we will advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Get it done. Shoquan says, question. So if the Knicks make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, do you think we just blow game one to give our guys some rest since Tuesday is right around the corner? Yeah, I mean, look, if we win today, Eastern Conference Finals starts on Tuesday. Absolutely insane. Celtics have been resting for, I think, 5 days now. But, look, if we make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, we'll talk about that when that arises. But it's going to be interesting. I don't think the Knicks have shown us that they don't rest their guys just to rest guys. They don't. It's going to be how the body responds after today, how Anunoby's responding, how Josh Hart's responding. But we'll talk about that point when, hopefully it happens. But, it's just getting to the Eastern Conference Finals is kind of like it's honestly it would be an incredible achievement. Like, honestly, like. And I think that's what they want. I think that's what they want to get to. And then versus Boston, whatever happens, man. I'll be hyped when we get to that point, but whatever happens, happens. Ben, as a fellow Knicks fan, how can we win if OG and Josh Hart are not playing? Look, Ben. This is from Adrian Wojnarowski. OG Anunoby and Josh Hart are on course to play Game 7. They're on course to play today. So they're going to lay it out on the line. They're going to be out there for their teammates. And 70, 80% of them, no matter what, they're just going to be a body out there for their teammates. Josh Hart, it's looking like Josh Hart is the one that's kind of compromised more than Anunoby, because there's a report that says that it's hard to breathe for Josh Hart. So that's kind of concerning. So it's all about how the player will react during the game. But it's looking like they will be back out there. Is OG and Josh Hart? Yeah, Ben. OG and Josh Hart are playing. Tony says JB needs to pass and not force his shot. Easy baskets. Let's not force anything. Yeah, I think we're gonna see an all-time performance from Jalen Brunson today. I truly do think that. And whether that's scoring or his assist numbers are gonna be up, but one thing I know about Jalen Brunson is that I know he doesn't want to lose this game. I know, and we're gonna see a great performance from him and from the team. It's a team effort. Catfly says, "Hey mate, first time seeing your channel from the UK. Fan of the basketball over here. I hope it's a close game." Cat, what's going on? Shout out to the UK. Appreciate you for hopping in. If you haven't done so already, everyone that's in here, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you for hopping in here, Cat. Yeah, hopefully, I hope it's not a close game, because my heart can't take that. I do not want it to be a close game. I want the Knicks to obviously blow out the Pacers, but it's going to be how the game transpires, and we'll just react to it at the end of the game. But yeah, I mean, I honestly don't want it to be a close game in the last 2 minutes, because I don't even think my heart can take that, especially in a Game 7. But appreciate you in here, Cap. Johnny says, one thing for sure, the biggest lesson here, always be ready. You never know when you're called. Burks, Shake, whoever. That's the beauty of Burks, man, the professionalism that we've seen from Burks. I mean, he hasn't played in like a month. And for him to step in Game 3, Game 4, Game 5, and look great, shout out to Burks, man. We're going to need him today, too. We're going to need him. John says, I feel like Dante's going to have an amazing game. JB 50. Yeah, Burks is playing. The thing is, even with Anunoby back, I still do think we're going to see a lot of Burks, and we're going to utilize the bench, because Deuce is going to be relegated back to that bench role. And we're going to it's going to be a lot of in and outs. Like, whether Anunoby is going to be in for 5 minutes, then you're going to see Burks or Deuce come in, especially with Josh Hart being compromised. You're going to see a lot of utilization from the bench today. And that's going to keep them fresh. That's going to prevent them from a further injury. But tip the ball up, man. Tip the ball up. Game 7. Appreciate every single one of you in here. I'm going to hop off. I will be back during the post game, and hopefully it's a glorious win, because if it is, make sure you're in here. It will be absolutely crazy. But this is my little pregame. I had to hop on here before Game 7. and just chop it up with you guys. Appreciate every single one of you in here. As always, it is Let's Go Knicks. Get it done. No matter what it takes, just get it done. Win the game. We'll worry about whatever happens next. But we focus on 3:30. Just win. I'm Anthony. I'll catch you guys next time. Get it done. Let's go Knicks. Peace.